the only way to become an expert. Which do you think more important to become an expert, talent, or effort? Einstein said, "Genius is the man of average who makes an effort." Not only him but also so many experts in different fields say that how important making an effort is in order to become an expert. But is that true that we can become an expert with just making an effort? Here is the study that proves that we can become an expert with making effort. In this study, they compared the established total hours of practice between experts and amateurs. Then, there is a significant huge difference between them. It's not a little. It is an overwhelming difference. At age of 20, there is more than a five-fold difference in hours of practice. This is an average data, so there might be some talented players who didn't have to practice that much to become an expert. However, most of the experts in many different fields do a tremendous amount of practice. This is called 10,000 hours rule, which is that we need 10,000 hours of practice in 10 years in order to become an expert. This rule applies in various fields such as academic, arts, sports, etc. However, there are some people who spent as many as hours experts did but never became experts. Then, why? We have to think about two aspects of practice: quality and quantity. Thus, just doing a lot of practice doesn't make you an expert. In sports psychology field, there are many studies that demonstrated effects of practice quality or different processes on the final performance. For examples, focusing one's parts of body during practice, which is called internal focus, is not an effective way to practice. However, focusing on object not one's body, which is external focus, has more benefit on practice. Moreover, doing variable practice is more effective than doing one practice all the time, even though the total amount of practice in variable practice is less. This is called practice variability. Lastly, it is more effective if the order of the practice is random, even though the total amount of practice is the same. That is, training effects are different, even though the total amount of hours are the same. 10,000 hours rule has one more important factor, which is that in order to be an expert in many fields, such as sports, music and academic, talent is not the most important factor. 10,000 hours of practice is needed, and it has to be well planned and designed for improving the abilities. Therefore, we need to not only just practice but also to plan and focus on only improving or achieving the goals in order to become an expert. This practice is called deliberate practice. Moreover, people with high level of performance spend significantly more hours practicing than those with low level of performance. In order to do deliberate practice for 10 years, 10,000 hours, which is essential to become an expert, one of the most effective ways is self-regulated learning. Self-regulated learning is one of the learning styles that learners have to actively control all learning processes, such as motivation, action, metacognition. There are some different models or theories. Self-regulated learners are actively involved in all three learning processes, and the learners can have effective learning by those three factors work together. Let's look at the three factors respectively. First of all, metacognition. In this process, learners do setting goals, performing cognitive activities, while monitoring oneself, self-evaluate the results, and always be aware of the process. Metacognition is like cognition about cognition, yourself who looks at yourself, or objective yourself. The second one is motivation, which is motivate learning and maintain learning effort and patience. The last one is action. It is the process where learners do achieve goals by taking concrete actions such as selecting an environment suitable for learning, seeking necessary information and assistance. Moreover, there is a model cycle that explains the best way to do self-regulated learning. This cycle has three processes, and it is said that effective self-regulated learning is performed by repeatedly learning through these three processes. Let's see the processes. First, Forethought. In this process, learners do analyzing tasks, setting the goals and planning how to practice. This process includes self-motivation and orienting yourself to your learning goals by having self-efficacy, that you believe you have abilities to achieve the goals, expecting results, having high interest. Second, performance control, which is cognitive activity proceeding with the actual practice. It includes check yourself how to carry out the task yourself, improve your concentration, exclude the situation that obstructs learning and configure an environment suitable for learning, and find and restructure important parts of the learning task. This is basically the process of self-control. The last one is self-reflection. This is the process of comparing the learning goals and the plans made by oneself with the learning results and the process performed, and assessing the degree of achievement and progress of oneself, and finding the cause of success and failure based on the evaluation. Those three are the processes of self-regulated learning, and it is important that keep motivated, have a definite goal, make a plan to achieve that goal, constantly monitor the process, evaluate the results, and set a new goal and practice and learn repeatedly. That is, in order to become an expert, high quality of practice, which is deliberate practice for 10 years, 10,000 hours is needed, and self-regulated learning is one of the best ways to keep doing deliberate practice for a long time. This applies to not only sports but also academic, arts, music, etc. You need talents or innate abilities in order to become a world champion or something like that. However, you can be an expert if you can make the right effort for 10,000 hours. It has been shown that you can keep making positive effort without fear of failure if you have the incremental intelligence mindset, which is that you believe that you can improve your abilities by making effort. So lastly, believe that hard work pays off. Then let's aim for an expert. Thank you for watching. I will keep uploading videos about fitness and training with scientific evidences. Please subscribe if you like it. See you in the next video. Bye.